recording. So thank you everybody for coming along to listen to this webinar on Get Me Out of Corporate. So this is going to be about helping you to get out of corporate. I'm so grateful that you're here. I know you're going to get so much out of this session. This is for you if you already have a side hustle and you want to make it your main hustle, or maybe you want a side hustle and you're not sure about where to start. So there are a number of strategies that you can use to move out of corporate altogether. It will depend on how much your family relies on your income and also the earning potential in your business. To assess that, you need to look at your finances, and we'll talk a little bit about that today. To be honest about the projections and to make a decision with no emotion attached to it. If you have any questions as we go through the webinar today, please pop it in the chat box. I will answer at the end, or if we run out of time, I will jump into the Facebook group and answer them in there. Okay, so this is where you are at the moment. You may have your baby or children in childcare and you're working for the man, or they might be in after school care or whatever. You have absolutely no family time, no quality family time. You are stressed and you're under pressure with your job and also juggling your family. You have no fulfilment in your life, and you understand that there is much more to life than what you are living at the moment. And this is where you want to be. You want to be a present mum for your children. You want to have a balanced life and feel some level of balance, and you want to have a successful business. And that's what we all want. We just want things to be in control. So hopefully today you'll pick up a couple of tips that may help you to move to there. So who am I? My name's Rachel Allan. I've worked in government. I've seen the silos that people work in, the lack of creative thinking, and I've worked for a bully. I've worked in corporate. I've worked for multi-millionaire men. I've joined the daily trudge to and from work. I've seen how robotic it all seems. I've taken work home at night. I've cared for someone else's business way too much. I've worked with more bullies and more career climbers than I care to think about. I have only felt real satisfaction working in my own business. So I first started Visionary as part of the NICE scheme, which gave me a year of some level of income to live off. A couple of years later, I fell into a full-time job because I landed a really big client from one of my clients. When I left that role, I took on a part-time job, so I still have some security because by that time I had a mortgage. And I also started my business again. And luckily for me, work flowed through my doorway. I was made redundant from the part-time role about a year after I started it, which was thanks to Mr. Rudd shutting down the network I was working with. But that made me get serious about my own business and to actually make sure I made enough money in the business to cover my expenses. So what to expect today? We will look at generating business ideas. So this could be an idea for a business that you have now and expanding on it, or maybe it's ideas around new businesses for yourself. We're going to look at the startup phase. So how do you take those ideas and commercialize them and turn them into a business? And then how do you choose success? So ideas for a business. First of all, you need to ask family and friends what they think you should do. So this could be as simple as just saying to them, what should I do with my business? Or what should I do with a new idea for a business? What am I good at? Look at the things that annoy you. And that could be things in business, in the world, things that really annoy you. and that you think you can make it better. So you might create a widget or create a service that will make it easier for people. Look at what your interests and passions are. What are you really good at? What's going to keep you motivated and interested in something? So with that, also be aware that if you do create a business out of a passion, that you need to be able to stay passionate about it, because the last thing you want to do is lose a passion because you've turned it into a business. Open your eyes to new ideas. Go for a walk in a new place. Watch a TEDx talk. Open up your mind to something new. When you do have an idea, go to sleep on it. Use your subconscious to actually process it. Amazing things happen with your brain when you're asleep. Brainstorm with other business owners. So you might have a networking group that you can sit down with and actually say, I've been thinking about this, or what about this for an idea? So brainstorm it. Surf the net, get on Google and check it out. See what else you can, that you can uncover about your idea. The thing with ideas is that you're very rarely the first person to come up with the idea. What's going to be different is how you execute the idea, or the fact that you're actually going to do something with it, opposed to all the other people who are still thinking about it. Journal. Write it down. Take notice of what's being said in Facebook groups. What are people looking for? What's their pain? Can you solve that pain? Can you create a business about it? Do you want to be a service or a product-based business? And that's very different. If you have a product, you have something that you're selling. A service is often just yourself that you're selling. So what sort of business do you want? And what industry do you want to be in or serve? You're really desperate to get into the hospitality industry. Maybe you want to do manufacturing, or maybe you want to be in a consultant. What do you really, really want to do? So think about all those ideas. That's just some ways for you to generate some ideas for thinking about, well, what sort of business do I want to run? And also, or maybe reinventing the business that you have. So how do you take that from an idea and commercialize it into something for business? First of all, write it all down. A bit like journaling, where you just start writing about the idea and see where it evolves to. So what pain will you solve with this idea? Who are your customers? Can you find them? And will they pay you for your service or your product? Who are your competitors? What are you doing differently to them? What's unique about your idea? And what do you need to do to commercialize the idea? What are the steps to make it into a business? When you are creating this idea and taking it to the next step, use mentoring and coaching to brainstorm your idea, to actually say it to somebody else and to put all these things down on paper about your customers and your competitors and exactly what your product and service is going to give you so much. Just to have that other person to brainstorm with, to give you a different perspective as well. Maybe give you some ideas you hadn't thought about. So use that, and there's definitely a lot of coaches out there, and there's also a lot of mentoring services where you can get really cheap mentoring. So you have your idea, you've written it down, you've got a little basis of a plan. What do you do next? And this is in your startup phase. Now, it could be a startup phase, it could be a relaunch phase, it could be a new product phase, whatever fits in here for you. So this startup. Do a one-page business plan. So take all those notes that you have and put it into a business plan. You can grab a template. The thing that I say with people about templates is you don't actually need to fill in all the bits that are in a template. You just fill in the bits that are relevant to you because it's a brain dump. At this point in a business, it's a brain dump and it's going to change so quickly and rapidly. So allocate a day and just create a business plan. From that business plan, create an action list and then start doing it. Start to start. That's one of the hardest things to do. Back yourself. Be your biggest cheer squad. Have confidence in your decisions and in this business that you are starting. And certainly when you are moving from corporate into small business as a rule, you are going to have to be your biggest supporter, your biggest coach, your biggest everything. So you really need to back yourself on this. Find the finances and startup capital. No matter what sort of business that you are starting, you are going to have some amount of money that you start the business with. Invest in your business. Invest in time and invest in money. So invest in the product or the service that you're offering, the marketing of the business, the legal side, and also the financial side. Make sure that the foundations of your business are strong and that you have something that you can work with. Start writing your procedures. I say this to every new business that I come across, or every business. If you do something more than once, write it down. Once you have your procedures written, you can then look at outsourcing that, whether it's now or in the future. You can outsource it to VAs, you can outsource it to freelancers, consultants, or you can employ someone to come in and do it. You can also look at automating some of those procedures. There is no reason that you need to be the one doing these small tasks all the time. So if you start writing your procedures down from the start, it'll be much easier, whether it's 6 months down the track, a year, or 2 years down the track. It'll be so much easier to then give all of those procedures to someone else to do. Bring in experts to do. You are good at what it is that you are good at, whether it's the creation of a product, whether it's the delivering of a service. There is no person who is an all-rounder, who is absolutely great at accounting, who is great at marketing. You know, we all are experts in all areas. So bring in the people who are experts to help you out, to make sure that you have a business that's going to grow quickly from startup phase to being a success. And you've got to remember that there's so many businesses that fail in the first 5 years, and women businesses are high in failing, which is sad, which we want to reverse, which we want to change. So make sure that when you create your business that it has that strong foundation. Let's talk about the icky thing of money. We mentioned before about knowing how much money you need to start up. So where is that startup money going to come from? How much do you need? You know, really look at your finances. Be truthful about it. How much money can you earn? What's your earning capacity? So how many widgets can you actually produce? How much time can you sell? You know, there is only so much time in a week that you can sell. There's only so many products that you can make, whether you're making step ladders or whether you're making toys or whether you're making earrings or cakes or whatever it is. There's only so much that you can produce. So be really honest with what your earning capacity is. Then as your business grows, you need to consider how you can leverage to earn more. It's a bit like sharing content. If you do something like we're doing today with a webinar, how can you then use the content over and over and over again with cupcakes? You know, how can you make more cupcakes? Can you get more people in to do it? Can you get someone else to make the cupcakes? You know, how can you leverage off the things that you're doing and replicate yourself to be able to sell more to make more money? But that's a growth thing. That's down the track. Importantly, at the start, consider how much money you need to earn to cover your business costs and also contribute to your family. So if you are the person who's bringing in all of the income into your family, obviously you need to be able to pay the mortgage or the rent, you need to buy the food, pay the bills, pay everything out for your kids as well. So how much money do you need to contribute to family, and then how much money do you need to cover your basic business costs per month? This will give you a really good idea about how profitable your business can be and how quickly it can actually get to that point as well. Be realistic about it though, and be honest with yourself. So in reality, it's going to take some time before you replace your corporate income. So if you're walking away from a job that might be earning you $100,000 a year, it is going to take some time before you can replace that income with your business income. So you need to be really realistic about that. We sacrifice income and that steady income from being in business for the freedom and the flexibility that business brings us, usually. So just know that you won't be earning the amount of money that you could in corporate, but there's so many bonuses to it. So let's talk about choosing success. In order for you to choose success, you need to define what it means for you. And for everybody, success is something different. I know for me what my success means, and I bet it means something different to you. We need to remember that 70% of businesses fail in their first 5 years. And someone told me a statistic yesterday that 95% of women-owned businesses will fail. 95%. And there's a whole range of reasons why we're failing. Mindset is usually the biggest, and choosing your success is a direct correlation with having that positive mindset. So I was a guest recently with Rural Women for their International Women's Day event, and I spoke all about how you can choose success. So I'm going to add the link to that in the email with the recording for you to have a look at that as well, to go a little bit further. But in summary, to choose success, you need to stretch yourself and step outside of your comfort zone. So always think of something else you can be doing that's a bit different, that is going to make you scared, because if you're not stretching yourself, thinking differently, being differently, and stepping outside your comfort zone, then you'll always stay the same. You'll always be where you are now. Business is a personal development journey. In fact, it's one of the biggest personal development journeys that you will ever go on, which is why it is so important to keep stepping outside your comfort zone, to keep investing in developing you as a person, because your business strength comes from you as a business owner. So embrace that. Learn how to do things that you don't know. Step up. Be different. Have the confidence to talk about those icky things like money, marketing, and business, because it's not all roses or tulips. It's actually hard work. And sometimes the money's just not working for us. And sometimes our marketing, we just can't get our head around what we should be doing in our business. And sometimes running the business and doing the day-to-day stuff really does our head in. So talk about those icky things. Gather your support people and have those conversations. Ask for help. It's amazing the number of people, and I do a lot of work with mums in business who feel that they're in it on their own. When you get asked to help someone, you will always do it. So ask for help. Be brave enough to ask someone. Gather your support around you in business. I have amazing support networks. some locally, some not locally. I call on different people to help me. I call on different coaches if I need to, just to get me out of a funk or get me through something or help me launch a new product or a new business or whatever it is. So gather your support people that you can call on, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because we aren't here to do it ourselves. Show up authentically. I think in today's world, we are allowed to be ourselves. We don't have to dress in suits. We don't have to step into this persona of what it is to be a business owner and to be part of the corporate world and wear the suit. We can be authentic. We can be ourselves. We can create businesses that suit our lives and our lifestyles, and we can do it for us and for our families, and we can choose success, and we can choose balance, and we can put rules in place. More and more women are creating businesses that are very closely aligned with their own value set, and being on missions in the world that is changing the world and being who they feel they need to be right here and now. So show up authentically. And one of the hardest things is as you build your network and as you get people in to help you with your business, and it could be that you start outsourcing things or you employ people, those people are also going to have an impact on your business and how it shows up in the world as well. But at the end of the day, it is your business. And if you want to be a success with your business, you need to keep it authentic to you so that you can feel that. Believe in yourself. We spoke earlier about backing yourself. You have to believe in yourself. It is, I coach so many women through that stage of going from corporate and having that steady income, the steady job, having sick leave, holiday leave, annual leave, superannuation paid for them, having that, to stepping out into their business, to actually believing that they can be a success, that they can grow a really great business, that they won't be one of the 70% of businesses that fail in their first 5 years. That the sacrifice that they make from moving away from corporate into having their own business is absolutely 100% worth it. So a little bit more about me as I divulge into some of our products and services. I've written a book called When Business Meets Baby, Practical Tools and Tips for Achieving Balance. And it is aimed at mums with young babies who may be in startup phase or have a business already. But you will get something from it, particularly if you're looking for that confidence and that juggling of your family. The resounding response I'm getting from people who have read the book is that it's giving mums permission to let go. So the book is available in print, ebook, and audio versions as well. I also have a course, Inspired Business and Life Designs for Mums Seeking Balance. It delves deeper into the concepts in the book, and we explore areas of your business, life, and also yourself. So it comes up, there'll be a lot of mindset stuff in there as well, around helping you create that life that you want. I also offer a whole range of group and individual coaching programs, which is all aimed at empowering you as a woman in business to be the best version of yourself. For today, I have a package available, which will be the book in both print and audio versions, lifetime access into the course, a Create Your Story coaching session with me, which is a 2-hour coaching call with what you've learnt in the book and in the course, and creating your own plan, creating your own story. You'll also receive a follow-up email to keep you accountable to all your actions. And if you're listening live and you order, all of that's just $99. So there's a huge saving there if you sign up to that. If you're listening live and you order in the next hour, I'll also add in a focus and accountability coaching session, which is a 2-hour coaching call with me, where we gain some focus over things that might be happening in your life And then I'll also send you 2 follow-up emails, making sure that you are accountable to the things that you say you're going to do. And I think accountability is so important to actually shifting you and moving you and actioning things and growing that successful business that you deserve. So I'm going to throw that in. It's valued at $275 at absolutely no extra cost to you. So that's my special offer. If you go down to the little link at the bottom of the page there, you can do that. It will also come out to you by email. That is all for today. So I want to thank you for coming along live, and also thank you for those who are listening back on this later. I really appreciate it. We run casual fireside conversations every fortnight where we come together on Zoom like this, but it is a conversation, so it's open to everybody contributing and talking about the topic. And the topic that we choose could be about mindset, it could be about marketing, or it could be about business as well. Our next workshop webinar, like this today, is on business growth, and I will absolutely email that out to you as soon as we have finished here today.